All right. Oh, I swear, this chair. It makes so many different noises. Where's the WD-40 at? Listen to that. Sounds like farts. If you listen hard enough, it sounds like farts. Hang on. Wait for it. No, it's not doing it that time. All right. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? I don't know. I'm sure there's some SEC fans in here a little curious. I actually had a couple of Ole Miss and Mississippi State fans reach out and actually complimented the chat, and they complimented the show, and they complimented Razorback baseball. And then they said, "We're going to kill you next time we see you." I said, "Good luck with that." All right, what was that a baseball game? I'm not entirely sure. That was like a AAA school taking on my 6-year-old's t-ball team from a year ago. That was ridiculous. Arkansas with the win, with the double deuce, 22-1. My youngest played t-ball last year. She didn't play ball this year. She was much more she was concentrating on building, dirt piles in the infield. Kind of like what NC State looked like they were doing today. That was awful. So do me a favor. Let's get the likes. Slam those like buttons. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. We just keep adding new subscribers. So shout out to all you guys, Patreon supporters. You guys know I like showing that screen off. You guys, the month of May, you crushed it. Thank you so much. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys who are part of the Patreon. And I mean, my gosh, that last game, the super chat was insane. So super chat, it's right here. It is active. And then of course we have Dave Van Horn, who's going to watch over the game. And I don't know. Hopefully he's as impressed with my performance tonight as he would have to be with Wicklander's performance tonight. How about him? This is a guy you knew when they were spreading it on. What was it? 7-1 after the third. Because NC State had that solo homer in was it the second inning? ESPNU sucks. I'm sorry that got held for review. And you wondered if he was going to pitch a little tight, if he was going to let the game. I mean, my gosh, he's got one loss on the year. Of course, it helps, who he has for middle relief and, your closing pitcher who's bailed him out a little bit this year. But you wondered if he was going to pitch a little tight tonight, and he didn't. I thought he pitched really well. Yeah, he gave up a homer and, whatever. We'll go over those numbers here in just a second. But I was really impressed with him, and it's why I put him on the thumbnail. I was gonna do Bob Moore. I was gonna do Bob Moore or just Dave Van Horn by himself because the man is the absolute GOAT as far as I'm concerned. No doubt Dave Van Horn will go down as one of the best Razorback baseball coaches of all time. If he wins a title, oh boy. I mean, he'll belong at that point in the Nolan Richardson argument, and hell, he probably already does anyways when you consider the amount of times the guy's gotten you to Omaha, right? Was NC State playing wiffle ball, whiff. They couldn't spot their strikes, couldn't find a strike zone. Arkansas looked to me like they were kind of not really crowding the plate, but they were just hitting so damn well, and they're so disciplined. I don't know how many times I've talked about that here. They're just patient and disciplined at the plate. I mean, they lead the country in homers. Don't give me Old Dominion. I'm so tired. They're the second most homers. All right, enough with your facts. Okay, first off, Old Dominion led the country in homers. Who the hell? Who do they play? Come to this league and do that. You won't come close. You wouldn't have half the home runs. Arkansas is clearly the best home run hitting team in the country. And, we haven't seen what happened tonight happen too often, although we've had double-digit leads. And what was impressive, though, Toll comes in, fifth inning, if I remember right. did really well. Ramage is Ramage. I'm not real big on that guy, and I haven't been all year. It seems like when he comes in, you're going to give up a run or two, and, but it's hard. You can't always put the blame on him. Red Wolves 2015 with the $5 super chat. For first 50-win season for this Arkansas baseball team, do you know the NCAA record for the most wins? I have no idea. I really don't know. And I thought they tied. I thought they had 150 before. Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong. Don't quote me on that. And what's amazing is Arkansas did this tonight without Franklin, who missed the game with a strep throat. Okay, it's a tie. I'm reading it was a tie, so I don't know. Someone can Kelly Marie, or I love the Charlie Welch homer. Welch, that was the other guy. It was either Bob Moore, and I thought about doing a back-to-back. When I have the time to sit down like I did today, because this game, let's just call it like it is. It was freaking boring. Don't get me wrong. You loved every second of it, but at the same time, it's like, all right, this game's over. You know what I mean? But I thought about doing them back-to-back. Do a little artwork with the thumbnail, having Welch and Bob Moore back to back. I thought that would have been cool, but I went with Wick. I was so impressed with him tonight. Look, again, the guy's 7-1 on the year. He can get you kind of clunky 4 innings, but he can get you 4 innings, and he can get you 4 solid innings. And I thought tonight he did exactly what was asked of him. Again, nothing new. I swear that guy gives up. I bet he's given up a solo homer in 80% of the games he started this year. And he wasn't a starting pitcher at the beginning of the year. And I'm pretty sure I think he did. He came in as middle relief. He probably gave up a homer then too. But then it's like he's able to bounce back, and he does so well. And he's not the only one that's able to bounce back. If they give up a home run, he's not the only guy, the only pitcher that they have that's like, he gave up a homer, no big deal. He's going to bounce back. Obviously, Cobbs. That goes without saying. I'm just really impressed, because here's the thing. I do agree that Arkansas may not be here without Cobbs. I think that's still debatable because of how well. Look at their on-base percentage. Look at their home runs. I wonder what their slugger percentage is. It's got to be up there. They take. I don't know. They quoted it tonight, the amount of times they've been hit, and it's up there. It's in the top. Last I had heard, they were top 4 in the SEC and being hit at the plate. They find a way, and it goes towards that on-base percentage, or they can play long ball. We know they can go deep, right? We also know they can play small ball. They just don't have to. We know they're capable of stealing bases, but they just don't have to. That's not something they really do. I'm glad they brought that up tonight. That we have to be the fewest attempted stolen bases this year in the SEC, or at least one of the bottom 3 or 4. They beat you, however, they find ways to beat you. So I don't like this idea that the only reason you're here is because of Cobbs. No, it's not. It is not only because of Cobbs. He's a big reason why you're here. He's a really big reason why you're here. But I think they have found ways, and we've seen it. We've seen it game after game, even when Cobbs doesn't come in and close. Although I would argue the last several series and postseason, you've really needed Cobbs to bail you out. But tonight's a really good example. You didn't need Cobbs. Your bats were awake. This is an elite hitting squad, by the way. NC State is one of the best hitting teams in the country. What did they do tonight? If you can have an off night, sure, and we'll find out if Arkansas can do it. It's against Cops, because we know we're probably going to end up seeing Cops tomorrow night. No matter what, you're going to end up seeing Cops tomorrow, because you're going to want to pitch him, right? Like Phil Elson says, you don't want to get into that rust versus relax argument and then just bench him the whole weekend because you want him to stay in some kind of rhythm. Maybe you just don't pitch him as much if it gets out of hand. And what you could also see, and here's something else. How many times this year did Arkansas jump out to a 6-7 run lead, and then in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning and then on, they make some pitching changes that don't work, and they give up 2 or 3 more runs. And then all of a sudden it's kind of a little bit of a ball game. That's happened a lot this year. And the point that I'm making is Dave Van Horn knows what he has. And I think I get the argument that you're only – like I understand it when people say that. You're only here because of Cops. But I think that discredits everything else that this team does right and is really good at. I mean, again, you're talking about the best home run hitting team in the country, and you're almost double digits ahead of the guys behind you. You get on base in like it's almost at will when they need to advance runners or when they need to get somebody on base. They're just able to do it. It's not all about pitching, but as I've said before, it's mostly about pitching. That's the game of baseball. Now tomorrow could be entirely different too. I don't know. I may revisit that argument. I've seen that argument posted by other teams. It's not Hog fans. I think Hog fans know, and a lot of you guys know. This team does so many other things really well. Maybe it's worth revisiting and thinking about as far as Cops. Would you be here with or without Cops? Obviously without Cops. It's really hard to overlook at the things that they've done. It's really hard to overlook their clutch hitting this year, with or without Cops pitching in coming out of the bullpen, coming out and pitching middle relief or closing. He's been your closing pitcher all year, but feels like he's been mostly middle relief, especially in the postseason. But the way that they find ways to get runs, and they've done it all year. Even when it looked like the chips were down, they needed a final two solid innings from their hitters. They've been able to do that. Now, I say that, who knows? Tomorrow, NC State could come out, pitch their rear ends off, even though they have no depth in their bullpen. And they went through, 4-5 pitchers today? God. Oh, my God. Their bullpen tomorrow, they're going to be limping around. It's going to be tough for them tomorrow. They are really facing an uphill battle tomorrow. And Arkansas didn't need Cops, so he's definitely going to be well rested. But I am surprised they were able to do what they did. What's more shocking to me, if there's anything at all, it's how well Arkansas's pitching responded. Was it 7 pitchers? Was it 7? See, I ended up doing like a load of laundry and was cleaning my bathroom, trying to listen to the game. We've got my kids have one of their friends over who's staying the night, so and it could get rowdy here in a minute. Just FYI, I apologize. I was kind of half paying attention those final couple of innings because I was distracted. But yeah, I mean tonight was it was unbelievable, and that's what was shocking to me is how well the bullpen handled them, and of course it helps when you rack up runs that early. Your starting pitcher now doesn't have. When you've got a 5, 6, 7, and et cetera, run lead, all of a sudden you're relaxed, right? You feel like and this is just from what I've heard pitchers say, listening to podcasts, listening to these guys talk on MLB TV or MLB Network, you get relaxed and you don't have all that stress. You feel like you've lifted all that weight off your shoulders, and now you can really dig into your pitches and you can find your groove a lot easier. And that's obviously something that happened tonight. But we have seen this from Wick before. Typically, you're lucky to get 5 solid innings out of him. Usually you can get 4 really good innings out of him, and then, he gives up a homer early and whatever, he has to bounce back, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. Someone gave me a super chat. Let me go back. Josh Weaver with the super chat. It's basically a tradition that when we win, I give Ty $5. Woo pig. I appreciate that, Josh. Joe wanted to know, do you think Cops might not pitch this weekend? No, I think he pitches because I mean, it could be short leash kind of thing where Dave Van Horn gets just an inning and a half out of him and then or gets a couple of innings out of him and then, gets him ready for the next game. Assuming now we still have to win this game. But you never know. We could be overconfident tonight. The guys could be completely distracted. The Razorbacks could just be, wow, we blew these guys out of the water. I have a hard time seeing them do that considering who their head coach is. But never say never. And NC State did get here for a reason, and they are capable of lighting up the scoreboard and racking up hits. So I wouldn't sleep on them, is all I'm saying. And if they do somehow advance this to a game 3, you got to imagine at that point their bullpen is completely soaked. At that point, what do you have left? And I mean, the odds, I think, no matter what, are definitely in Arkansas's favor. Yeah, these guys can hit really well. They hit the ball really well. Suey, says Mac Cooper. Anthony White, why did they go through so many today when it was 12-1? I kind of wondered that myself, and I wonder if they just were kind of doing what I thought Dave Van Horn was going to do, where we saw a different. And a friend of mine, shout out to JR, he said, I think we're going to get a different pitcher every inning from like the fifth on, right? When Wicklander was finally called off the mound. I kind of thought we were going to see that too, and we ended up, that wasn't the case. But no, he was out in the sixth round, right? It was a sixth inning round. Did you guys watch Mayweather Logan Paul the other night? I didn't get a chance to watch. I haven't even seen the highlights. I just knew Mayweather was going to win that fight. But I've been thinking about that match today, and I'm like, I really want to catch the highlights. NCSU. I mean, I'm with you guys. I think it's going to be really damn hard for them to bounce back from this, right? I mean, this was a demoralizing loss on top of the fact that your bullpen is shredded. Now, maybe they did exactly what they wanted. They got exactly what they wanted considering the circumstances out of their bullpen, and maybe they're going to be ready for the rest of this series. Look, we did see what happened with Bama and Arkansas, and I loved how these ESPN announcers brought that up. It's like any chance they get to give Alabama some credit somewhere. Like, oh, these guys carry the SEC network. Oh, and by the way, did you know in baseball they clobbered Arkansas in game 1? But you saw how that game ended, or that series ended up. Arkansas bounced back, but Arkansas is just such a better team than NC State is. If they catch Arkansas, honestly, it's going to have to be the worst series that they've played all year. That's how NC State is going to have to find a way to beat Arkansas. I don't know. Don't worry, it will be Jake and Layweather. It wasn't worth it. Should have been Jake Paul. Oh, okay. 85% of their pitching throughout the year was done between 5 of their pitchers. I saw that, which is crazy. I mean, it's not completely unheard of, but for a team to get this far, typically you need to be a little bit deeper in the bullpen, and they're not. And they've been able to kind of, they were able to overcome that by getting something out of their ace. I think their ace is supposed to be pretty good. Arkansas absolutely wrecked that kid. But obviously they're hitting. It's kind of like Big 12 football, right? Like it's all offense, no defense. It's kind of what they've got going on with NC State, although obviously they're in the ACC. But wouldn't have mattered though. Mayweather's it's a GOAT. Do you mean Mayweather? He's the GOAT. There was no knockdown clause, or are you talking about the run rule, or are you talking about the match, the boxing match? I'm sure NC State was ready to call this thing after the what was it, the 6th inning when Arkansas just kept pouring it on, man. I mean, you kind of felt bad for them. Now, if tomorrow they find a way to get a win, we're not going to give two craps about what happened tonight. And that's what kind of sucks about baseball. People who, let's be honest, you've got casuals like myself, and then you have people who are brand new to baseball, and they're like, yeah, all right, now we advance, right? Like, we just squashed them. No, you still got to do it one more time. You got to get another win. Wait, what? Tonight could be somewhat meaningless if we manage to mess up tomorrow. But again, I still think, they're going to be just, I don't know what you do day 3. I really don't. If they force a day 3, late join, but this was exactly what we needed. Yeah. Are you talking about the stream? If so, that's so nice. Thank you. If you're talking about the game 1 matchup, also, yes, absolutely agree. Yeah, too many rules in that boxing match. Okay, yeah, I had heard they had laid out a lot of. It's not even boxing at some point. It's just not. It's just all for. I mean, it's all for. I mean, we get it. It's drive up the pot, right? Fill up the pot. At some point, it's just not even. It's not even boxing. When you get these kind of celebrity matchups, those stick are getting bigger and bigger at exactly the right time of year. So I was really surprised with Franklin. And again, it's just one guy, but with him out of the lineup, I mean, he's been a pretty good cleanup guy. And that concerned me. I mean, it really did. It concerned me a little bit. He's been fabulous as a cleanup hitter. And I know he struggled a little bit in the regionals and especially against Nebraska. Boy, those Cornhuskers, they were seeded incorrectly. They you feel bad for them in a way. I know their fans are annoying as hell. They're still complaining. They're still accusing cops of using what's the tar? Pine tar. They're accusing him of using tar or whatever other sticky substance. We had a guy tonight I saw on Twitter. I think it was an A&M fan or a fan account, one of those like fan-sided accounts that had suggested that we were doing something with the bats. Like, if it's not one thing, it's another. Just admit Arkansas whooped the living hell out of NC State, right? Just come on. And when I see Hog fans do that, I just eye roll so hard. Like, if Arkansas gets rocked in anything and people make these wild accusations like they're paying the referee. Stop. Are they getting, and I've made that argument before in the football season, are they getting like the D- officiating squad? Yeah. Because the SEC thinks so little of some of those matchups. Probably. They want to look better on TV. They want the refs to look better on national TV. Alabama and Georgia, they're going to get the more clicks, more watches. I kind of think Arkansas's, that's my line of thinking. But when I see people like, oh, the ump is paid off. Get the hell out of here. They're cheating. Check their bats. Check his hat. Or who was the pitcher that against Mississippi State? He kept doing that, right? Because of the pine tar. And he was psyching him out. You guys remember that earlier in the year, several months back? It's ridiculous. Take your loss like a man. Or if it drives you that crazy to see Arkansas winning like they are, I don't know, don't watch. Stop being an asshole. I guess we will see the real NC State. We will see who the real NC State is tomorrow. That's a good point, David. Could be the case. Their backs are against the wall. They got smacked around tonight. How do they respond? And I'm not a big fan of just pushing people off like, oh, it's over. Even though it looks like that's the case, I'm not a fan of, I don't even like going there. It's not a superstition thing. It's just it's more of a their backs are against the wall. Who knows? Who knows how they play, right? Who knows how they come out tomorrow? And it's a different day, and that's baseball. I mean, again, Arkansas beat the living crap out of them tonight, and tomorrow that may not even matter. But I feel pretty good. I feel pretty confident. Auburn football game was different. Well, it was a missed call. I'm not going to say that he was paid off. They mess up, they make mistakes. In the SEC, they mess up more than most. I'll agree with that. I think SEC officiating is atrocious. I just think it's bad. I really do. Ty, you're the man, brother. We all know this. Oh. I still don't know what you would say to your team after 21-2. Yeah, it's 21. Did I put 22-2 in the? No, I didn't. Okay, 21-2. You're right. 21-2. It was a 3 touchdowns to a safety score. How about that? They didn't play any of their good pitchers. No, their pitcher tonight was an ace. Their pitcher tonight was their ace, quote unquote. And they did pitch a freshman, middle relief. He was sitting him down. The ESPN guys couldn't get enough of him. And then it all fell apart. Yeah, using bats to hit the ball. The claim was that they were using loaded bats. It was one of those fan accounts. I don't know. Sometimes after you blow the roof off the building, you can't even run the next game. Yeah, and I've seen that happen as a Cardinal fan, although they're hitting the ball horribly this year. I say that. They got like 9 hits tonight, and they still managed to lose to the Cubs. All right, let's look at the numbers really quick. Let's go over these. Again, 21-2. It's a lopsided, low-scoring football game kind of score. Webb got the start tonight for Franklin. Franklin out with a strep. Webb was not too good at the plate. 0 for 5, average of 178. defensively solid player. He's got a ways to go at the plate, and it's hard to throw guys in to a batting rotation, into the batting order, into the rotation, and just be like, all right, go out and do what he did now. Go out and do what he did. We want Franklin-like numbers or something close to that, please. That's hard to do. Yeah, he's played a little bit this year in postseason, but it's different when you're inserted, even when they make changes to the order, right? Wallace tonight, one for 4. How well did the batting order, because the way the game ended up. Battles was 2 for 5. Obviously Moore was the man tonight, 4 or 5. 2 homers, 5 RBIs tonight. Welch, 4 RBIs, a homer. It's unbelievable how well Arkansas, their patience. It just wasn't a good matchup. It just was not a good matchup for NC State pitching. They're not known for their pitching. They're known for great, elite defensive play, but I don't think their pitching was anything super special this year. Not saying it was bad, but Reed Johnston is going to Johnston is going to fall to 8-3 on the year again. Patrick Wicklander, who gets the dub, 7-1. Again, really impressed with Wick. Like I said, trying to pull up his numbers here. I thought I had him up. He ended up pitching 6. He ended up pitching 6 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, but he had 6 Ks tonight. Toll, who pitched 2 innings, had 4 strikeouts. Altogether, they walked 4, gave up 2 runs, 7 hits on the night given up for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Welch continues to just be the man. I don't know what you want to do with him. The guy bats 400, and people are like, just put him in there somewhere. Put him in the batting order somewhere. Let's make it work. Opitz wasn't terrible tonight. Did Leach make his way onto the field? Because he must have, because I'm seeing him on the batting order here. He must have made his way in late, because he's in the order here, but it doesn't show him with an at bat. So he must have caught the final inning for Arkansas on defense. Visitor numbers here really fast. So they did end up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different pitchers, but nobody pitched more than Johnston, which is obviously why he's got the L, why he's holding the L tonight. 3 innings pitched. He gave up 6 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned runs with 5 strikeouts. Payne was the freshman who ended up getting 3 strikeouts. And then Sipple, this guy came in, pitched an inning, a little more than an inning, had 4 strikeouts. I mean, that's not too bad. That's not terrible. But they gave up 17 hits tonight. 17 hits, obviously 21 runs. It was just simple. It was like me going out in the backyard and throwing underhanded balls to my kid, to my oldest kid who's played 2 years of softball. That girl she's starting to hit better. That's what happened. It's what it looked like tonight for Arkansas. Kind of struggled in the beginning, right? Go back to the Nebraska matchups. Like, what's going on? And then tonight they got it out of their system. Kind of feel bad for NC State. Just a little, right? No, come on. Ty, how good are NC State bats compared to others we might face here on out? Well, it's funny you might ask that. I actually have where they're ranked in a lot of their numbers if I can pull them up here. Hang on just a second and I'll tell you. I don't have them on my computer, but I have them on my phone. So their road record, which is now 17-4, was 17-3, which says nationally best. I would imagine they're probably tied with somebody there, but regardless, I don't know what pressure wins are, but apparently that's a number. But they're 19th in the country in pressure wins. I guess that's come from behind wins or saves. I'm not really sure. Runs per game, they average 7.2 runs per game. All right, that's good for 30th in the country. Arkansas's at 16th in that category, 7.6 runs per game. Now, here's why people believe they're one of the best hitting teams in the country. In the ACC, which was probably the second best conference in college baseball, miles behind the SEC. They averaged double-digit hits per game. They were the 20th best hitting club in college baseball this year, and if I remember correctly, they had a respectable strength of schedule. Wasn't great, but it was respectable, all things considered. But yeah, they averaged over 10 hits. It's hits, not runs. 10 hits per game. Arkansas, who's 138th in the country at 8.9. Remember, they're an average hitting team. Hits. Just getting on base, right? Home runs are different, a little bit different. Runs allowed, Arkansas's 12th in the country. They're 97th, right? Hits allowed per game, they're 68th in the country at 8 hits per game. This font is super small. Arkansas at 7.4, which is considered top 20 in the country. And then fielding grade, which I've always, I think it's kind of a bloated number. It's really, it is what it is. But they are ranked third in fielding, while Arkansas is ranked 18th with a grade of 98.3%. I don't have do I have their home runs, hits, runs allowed? No. But Arkansas's home record now, 30-6. They were 29-6 coming into this game. Again, they were 17-3, which was considered the best. And I guess, I don't know if that's, surely someone else is tied with that, right? 17-3. Doesn't seem right. To be the best. I mean, that is really good. I'm not saying it's not, only 3 losses on the road. Now 4. But all those numbers get kind of thrown out the window when you get into postseason college baseball. When you get into the regionals and the super regionals, those go out the window. You got to deal with a hostile crowd. Razorback fans are, it goes without saying, they are super loud. That place is electric. Just wait until football finds itself. Wait until Pittman gets this thing straightened out. You're going to have the trifecta in Fayetteville. It's going to be ridiculous. Nice numbers, makes me feel even better about Wick. And like I said, you kind of have to throw some of those out the window facing that crowd, and maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was deer in headlights. Now they're settled down. Do we get a better effort out of NC State tomorrow? I don't know. Hog fans are savage. We're animals. They're supposed to stop the score at 15 runs. Well, they don't. There is no run rule. There is no run rule in the super regionals. There's none, which is a little surprising. I thought there would be. I could understand Omaha not having a run rule, but my God, 21-2. Throw in the towel. It's over. NC State has 84 total home runs. Yeah, Arkansas has 106. Yep. Okay, I didn't know it was 84. All right, is that after tonight? I'm assuming it is because Arkansas came in tonight with with 103 home runs. Yeah. Crazy our fielding is 18th. It seemed like we have so many fielding errors. I'll tell you what, it's kind of amazing when you've got, and nothing against Casey Martin, but that guy, I don't know how many errors that guy averaged per series. Loved Casey Martin. Super high ceiling. But messed up a lot, had some issues, and he wasn't the only one, but you feel so much more confident. Like they've said before, I think it was the SEC Network, Arkansas has Major League Baseball. Like they look like major leaguers, right? The way they play. It's incredible. A lot less games for NC. Oh, well, okay. All right. If you say so. I don't know. Okay, home runs for NC State was 83 coming into the game. How many games did NC State play? Oh, let's also do score updates really quick around the country, really fast. Stanford, what happened? What's my screen doing? Ole Miss right now, it is D1Baseball.com. God only knows how far behind they are, but Ole Miss right now on top of Arizona in the Tucson Super Regional on ESPNU. Ole Miss is up 3-2. Eastern Carolina lost today to Vanderbilt 2-0. Stanford beat the crap out of Texas Tech. That was a little surprising. I thought Texas Tech, again, it's game 1 for them. But Stanford on top of Texas Tech, 15-3. And then obviously Arkansas 21-2 over NC State. So We had some. Well, that's all that's going to load for me at the moment. Okay, so there you go. There's your recap. This weekend's going to be really interesting. Do they get out of this thing in 2 games and just get prepared for Omaha? I can't wait. I'm excited for that. That's going to be great. Assuming they can do it. Stanford smoked Texas Tech, son. Yes, they did. NC fans talked a big game before tonight. They always do, and then Arkansas calls the cops. They didn't even have to tonight. It was fantastic. Will cops play tomorrow? Just keep them warm. I think they do. Like I said, it depends on what happens, obviously. Depends on the score. If this thing is tight, if it's close, obviously we're going to see cops. If it's anything like what tonight happened, I don't think that happens. I could be wrong. I think you still see him come out and pitch at least an inning. And Phil Elson's talked about this before. It's the rust versus relax argument, especially in college baseball, when you got to wait a week. You don't have a midweek in postseason play, or like the amount of time, compared to the major leagues where it's like you got a game damn near every day. And obviously you stretch out. The bullpen works entirely different, but it's in college baseball. It is a little bit different, and you're going to have to figure out, how much you want to use cops if you do end up using them tomorrow. If you get a thumbs down, Ty, that's an Old Dominion grad. Wolfpack fans are sucking their thumbs. They should be, because they're a bunch of schmucks. You don't lead the country anymore in home runs, and you never did to begin with because of who you played against. You played against a bunch of bums. Meanwhile, we're destroying Big 12 teams in their own backyard. We swept the SEC in regular season and postseason. We made Tennessee our, what? I'm not going to get too animated because we still got a game to go. Oh, no, Old Dominion, you're nothing. 50-11 feels pretty damn good. Yes, it does. I agree, Mass Murda. Win tomorrow and give cops the week off. Woo pig. Rust versus rest. Right. That's what I said. Rest versus rust. Rust versus rest. Cops goes at least 2 tomorrow. He could. But then again, we may need him for more than 2 tomorrow. You never know. These guys are capable hitters. Was it deer in headlights tonight? Is that what was going on? What pitchers do you think NC State has left for them? I have no idea. I don't know. Who damn pig, that's all. Tomorrow for Arkansas, you're going to end up seeing, I think, Lockhart, Cost. Depending on the score, I think you see Cost, and then you call the cops. I kind of hope that's what happens. And then someone else after cops, because we don't want to we want him to just pitch a couple innings, and the game's so out of hand, fingers crossed, that, you don't really need him for much longer. Cops is a machine. I honestly wish Dave Van Horn would start him tomorrow and throw a wrench at them. I mean, didn't need him tonight. Why not? But then again, I would like to see Lockhart come out and just pitch his ass off. Who was that? Was that Tennessee where he pitched he's pitching a no-hitter for 7 innings. Maybe it was longer. Was it 8? Tonight was a car crash. It was. And everyone's rubbernecking, driving by, watching. They didn't use but one of their good pitchers tonight. They still have 4 they use often. Okay. All right. Only thing I knew about these guys coming in, what homework I was able to do was offensively they could be trouble. And I knew they had a good road record. I just didn't realize it was tied or it's first in the country. I didn't know 17-3 was good enough to be first in the country. But then again, that makes sense, right? Well, was it Georgia? Okay, it was. Are you sure it was Georgia? Was it Georgia? Was it that long ago? Because Florida was the last. I thought it was Florida. Maybe not. You guys probably know. Do we need to start playing 3-string now? I don't know what you mean by that, Michael. Do we need to start playing 3-string? What is that? Is that a baseball term? I don't know. There's so many of them. Lockhart went 6 2/3 of the 7th with a perfect game against Georgia. Okay. All right. This guy was an inside pitcher too, which plays into our strength. I'll tell you what you don't do to Arkansas, and this is something I don't know why teams can't figure this out. If there's a pitch they can nail, it's the fastball right over the center. I cannot figure out why anybody, and I get it, like that's the most common pitch that most of these guys have, right? If you're not throwing just straight heat, mid to high 90s, and I would argue Arkansas can even hit some of those, don't pitch it. Find something else. Find a better mismatch. Find someone else in your bullpen. Arkansas, I swear to God, there's no one that hits the fastball like the Hogs do. And I have watched, this is the most college baseball I've ever watched in my entire life, because I kind of got more and more interested, especially in the SEC, and listening to the announcers talk about those games and then bring up, oh yeah, by the way, don't throw fastballs at these 2 or 3 guys in Arkansas's batting order because they hit the crap out of the fastball. I can't figure out why teams, and I get it, like you have to, a lot of pitchers have that in their arsenal. I get it. I just would probably not throw it near as much or at all. Or be like Nebraska and have a bullpen full of left-handed pitchers, right? That's also true. Would have liked to seen Monk tonight in a stress-free environment. He is either on or off. That is also true. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow I would love to see this happen again tomorrow for Arkansas to just blow this thing out of the water and it be decided by the 6th inning, just to get other guys out there, to give them an opportunity to say, hey, look, I pitched in the supers. I knocked a little bit of rust off tonight. And I'm ready, to build their confidence. You look at a guy like Connor Noland, who he started off horrible and then he kind of, of course he was coming back from stuff, but when you finally got him out there, it wasn't so good. Dave Van Horn held on to it and said, all right, I'm going to pitch you here. And he does well. And he has a couple of games where he pitches really well. Then he has one not so great game, but you still feel like now, okay, Connor could be a valuable middle relief pitcher going forward. I don't know what he does next year, and that's going to be curious to see what Connor does plan to do next year. And he's eligible to return, so I believe he's eligible to return, right? He's eligible. They all are, right? Technically, or was that only to fall sports in 2020? I don't remember how the NCAA handled that, but yeah, it's fascinating to see kind of how Dave Van Horn, I've talked about that here, how he's kind of handled each pitcher in middle relief and what he's done with them and how he's utilized them. Let's see. Nebraska, laugh out loud, Lance. I don't know what you're talking about. Who's Lance? We don't have a Lance in our chat. Kelly Marie and her husband are not in chat. Y'all are not giving enough credit. They got a whole 2 runs, not 1. Got to remember, they gotta run late in the game. If I was a young pitcher coming up, I'd study the heck out of Cops' 2021 season. You're not lying. We've never seen anything like this. It's just incredible. What are we at? 47 minutes. Okay. And I agree about Monk. I do, because I feel like he's one of those guys that when he finds the zone and when he's dialed in, he could be someone who come out middle relief and get you 3 or 4 really great innings and put a lot less pressure on guys like Cops or Ramage if you absolutely have to pitch Ramage. And I felt the same way about Cost, and I feel the same way about Connor. And I would love to see Connor Noland pitch tomorrow. Cops doesn't get tired either. How is that even possible? And he got better. He got better as the game went on the last time he pitched, and that's just unheard of. Fastball is every pitcher's right. Of course it is. Fastball sets up off-speed pitches wouldn't be effective. And Arkansas will destroy you, Fred. I mean, they're going to take advantage. I realize you use pitches to set up other pitches. I get that, but Arkansas destroys you if you're tossing heaters over the center. They kill it. They crush it. I mean, Phil's talked about it. Bubba's talked about it. Bubba Carpenter. ESPN's talked about it. It doesn't matter And that's what makes them so difficult, and it's why it's so tough to pitch through that rotation. You might get through it once, that hitting rotation. You might get through it once, but then to get through it a second, third, and fourth time, and it's because you're having to set up more pitches, and you get desperate, and you're in a hostile environment. Haha, touche. I mean, and that's why there's so and it's like, what do you do? Well, and again, you're going to have to find someone in your bullpen that doesn't rely on setup pitches and doesn't rely on the fastball. I mean, you look at Cops. Not that, and I get it, there are no Cops out there. They're not, but there's a reason why we're bragging about his cutter and not his fastball, right? And he does use the cutter to set up the fastball, right? He'll try to get you chasing outside. If we get to Omaha, it's scary to think that Cops could pitch every game due to the day of rest between games. Cops threw 28 straight off speeds the other night. Yeah, I didn't know it was that much. That's insane. If you're a good off speed, sets up your off speed. If your name is Cops, yeah. I just, and I get it. Like I said, it's in every pitcher's arsenal, and you got to throw it. I get it. Not everyone has a Cops in the bullpen. But, and I'm kidding around. I mean, there are some guys out there, especially in the SEC, that can throw straight heaters and set Arkansas down. We saw that a couple times this year. Was it Florida that had a day one guy that threw majority fastballs, and we kind of struggled a little bit. Yes, the Hogs will go all the way. Oh, there's Lance. I didn't know we had a Lance in chat. The only other Lance I know of is Kelly Marie's Lance. Welcome, Lance. Welcome. If you guys are new, do me a favor, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching me, and I know I get this all the time, Ty, I was watching through a third-party app or whatever, and I don't have a YouTube account, go make one and sub and watch the content. Hey, look, more stuff is on the way. I can't wait. And this is what's cool. Did you guys hear that? It sounded like there was a crash in my kitchen. These walls are so thin. I'm sure you probably didn't hear that, but that was crazy. What was I saying? Are you okay? Oh, the cat knocked everything down. Oh, okay. It sounded like a car wreck. By the way, if you guys are watching this, I get some of you who are like, I'm watching this while driving on I-49. Please be careful. We are the SEC. No, the SEC can burn. I want them all to lose. I want all the SEC teams to lose. I just do. You think Arkansas will go all the way? It depends on their path. But like these guys said tonight on ESPN, because Arkansas, I mean, you guys know this, because Arkansas, they have multiple ways they can beat you. They're not a small ball only team, and we've seen Dave Van Horn with some really good teams that play excellent small ball, who find ways to get on base and who had stunning bullpens, but they didn't have long ball, right? They didn't have the long ball. They didn't get as many walks. They weren't as patient at the plate. They didn't have a Kevin Kopps in their bullpen. I mean, he's a cheat code. It's Mortal Kombat cheat code, right? It's ridiculous. The blood is definitely turned on that video game. Kopps murders. But there's so many different ways they can beat you. Long ball, short ball. Their defense is elite. Their outfielders make plays every series. They're making highlights on SEC Network. Their infield is just phenomenal. How about Battles? We don't talk enough about that guy. We don't talk enough about having the best catcher in college baseball. You've got Kopps. We talk about that. Wicklander's performance, who again is on the thumbnail of this very video or this live stream, it's just insane. Oh, you heard it? Flying says he heard it. I'm telling you, these walls they're thin. They're thin. We live in a small home. We live in a small house, and I swear. I'm surprised sometimes you guys are like, yeah, I didn't hear whatever. And I'm like, yeah, it was right there. It's so loud. And we have, like I said, we have a friend of our friend of our kids staying the night too, and it, small house, gets real loud and chaotic. Listening to you from Wendy's, met a former New York Jets player today. Oh, that's very cool, Jacob Botwinick. How you doing, man? Webb had a few nice plays. Yeah. Tom Van Horn is even amazed by the team he put together. Dave Van Horn is. And did you guys see his face on that homer? The walk-off homer? It was nice. Nice to see. It's pretty rare to be able to hit 95, 98. I mean, it is. But if anybody could hit 95 to mid to high 90s, it'd be Arkansas. And then still have legit cutter and real controlled movement on the rest of your speed. How about the NC State coach death stare? I didn't see that. I didn't see that, Troy. It was encouraging to see someone not named Cops pitch well out of the bullpen. Toll was in command. We've seen Toll come out, and when it's a tighter game, he folds. A part of me wonders how well he would have pitched. Obviously, he wouldn't have pitched. It would have been Cops. We're not, as long as Cops is good to go, there's not going to be anyone. And I hope I'm not jinxing him. This is wood, isn't it? This is wood. There we go. I knocked on wood. But there's not anyone that's going to come out unless it's just a complete throttling, right? But Toll, we've seen come out when the game is close and him completely fold. Tonight, he had breathing room and he was excellent. I hope. Exactly. He was relaxed. I agree. Why was he relaxed? Why was he in the zone? Because he was relaxed. Why was he relaxed? You had this huge gap on the scoreboard. And I hope, and the good I'm trying to make, what I'm trying to say is, I hope he builds off of what he did tonight. Just like with Connor. I kind of wish we'd seen Connor. Did we see Connor? I don't think so. Who pitched? I was just looking at that. Who pitched? And again, they did go through seven pitchers. NC State did. We only pitched 3, right? Yeah, okay. It was Toll. I wasn't sure if someone came out after Toll. I knew Ramage closed it out. Yeah, because Toll only pitched 2 innings. Okay. That sets you up, man. That sets you up real nice and pretty. You didn't pitch. Anyone else you were afraid to use for game 2 or worried about relaxing for a possible game 3. Obviously, you didn't see Cops. And Arkansas hit the living hell out of the baseball tonight. That always helps, too. Yeah, it was Ramage. Wick Toll Ramage. Like I said, I was distracted the final 3 innings of the game. I only kind of caught Ramage pitching there at the end. And I knew Toll had pitched, and I wasn't sure if someone came out after Toll who pitched maybe a couple of batters, and then we saw Ramage. I think we forget about the fielding because our guys are almost automatic. You just know they're going to make a play, and that's been an issue at Arkansas, even in past years when they've made Omaha. The errors, obviously the infamous triangle ball drop in the College World Series. I hate even bringing that up. And we have had that happen this year. That has happened, I think, at least twice, almost in the exact same spot where someone didn't flag everyone else off. I don't know. That play, I'm telling you. I could go on and on. I don't even want to go down that hallway. Dropping the natty, quote unquote. Battles is trap star. I'm telling you, Battles is special. And he came on at the right point, both defensively and defensively. He's been pretty solid all year. I think he got even better the second half of the year, and then he got better at the plate the second half of the year. Really impressed by him defensively. I like how Leach was backing up a throw, first base. I didn't see that while up 21. Okay, so this was one of the innings I missed. Yeah, because I didn't catch. There were like 2 innings I completely missed. So he did come in and pitch, or come in and catch at the end. Okay. All right, that's going to do it, man. You guys, let's get the likes up first. Come on, we could break 50 likes. We could break 50. What's this, 42 likes? Come on now. But the plan is to be live every post-game show, every game for the rest of the year. The plan is for that to be the case. If not, like I did last time I was unable to go live, I will be sure to update you guys on Discord, on Twitter, and on YouTube. I'll do better at that. But I did it last time when we weren't able to go live. But the plan is every game we're going to be here for the post-game. Slap the like button. I don't have Discord pulled up. I was going to give you guys the link really fast. Kelly's not in. Let me see. I might need to make another mod. Because, Kelly, look, man, she's a mom. She's a wife. She's got stuff going on. She can't just sit here and listen to my fat mouth ramble on. You know, so I might need another. Okay. Hang on. Let me get this invite. I got to customize it. Never gonna give you up. All right, here we go. Copy. I'm so slow at this. If you guys want to join the Discord, here it is. I'm just gonna have a macro for this. There you go. There's the Discord. If you guys want to join, it's especially fun during the games and after the games, before the games. It's fun. If you guys want to join in, completely free. You can have the app on your phone. It's just a place for you to mingle with other Hog fans. If you guys want to get in on that. Franklin is someone you don't want to play with. Oh, no, I agree. He's been a phenomenal cleanup hitter. Right there in the middle of that lineup. He's been great. He really has. So I don't know if he's coming back tomorrow or not. It's strep throat. I have no idea. Honestly, if it's anything close to like what happened tonight without him, I'm okay with him not playing this weekend, right? So, see, there's the farts out of this damn chair. Get the WD-40, woman. I'm sleeping on the couch. All right, Woo Pig. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Behave yourselves. Yeah, go Hogs. That's a wrap. What do you say, Dave Van Horn? Was that a good show? Do you approve? I think he approves. He's quiet, so that means he approves. See, I'm not digging that chair, man. I'm not digging the squeaky from the chair. Oh, tomorrow, I believe Lockhart is pitching tomorrow. Kenneth, Anthony. I believe it's Lockhart. So, odds are we will see Cops. I would say, yeah, you're probably going to see Cops, no matter what. All right, Woo Pig. See you guys tomorrow. Go Hogs.